All right, hey everybody, how's it going? So today we have some breaking news that Donald Trump just signed a new policy into action where he is going to be sending the violent migrants to Guantanamo Bay. Now, if you are not familiar with Guantanamo Bay, that is one of the harshest places that you want to be imprisoned at. And if you are in the United States illegally, then you can be prepared that you might get sent directly to Guantanamo Bay. Now, they're looking to do this. They say they have over 30,000 beds that they can go ahead and fill. So for the migrants whose countries are not taking them back, or maybe they're just too violent of offenders or their crimes are just too horrific, they will be sent to Guantanamo Bay. Now, we're just hoping that this is actually just going to be for those really bad criminals that's being sent there. We don't want to see any type of family sent there or migrants who have just been in this country just trying to work. But for the worst of the worst, you guys got it bad. Trump is not playing. He is super seriously cracking down on immigration in the United States. And overall, I think it's going to be actually good for everybody. If it's one thing that I really stand firm on is we really need to do something about the human sex trafficking and the fentanyl that's coming into this country. And if it's going to require us to completely close down the borders and just start kicking people out the country, then I'm totally with that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this story.
President Donald Trump also plans to open a detention center at Guantanamo Bay to hold up to 30,000 migrants who are living illegally in the United States. The immigrant detention measure is the first law of his new administration, and this means that people who are in the U.S. illegally and are accused of theft and violent crimes would have to be detained and potentially deported even before conviction. Now, prior to this announcement, the U.S. military base has been used to house detainees from the U.S. war on terrorism. Kendall.
All right, so there you go. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Donald Trump actually make this statement to the public, putting all illegal immigrants on notice.
Today, I'm also signing an executive order to instruct the Departments of Defense and Homeland Security to begin preparing the 30,000 person migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay. Most people don't even know about it. We have 30,000 beds in Guantanamo to detain the worst criminal illegal aliens threatening the American people. Some of them are so bad we don't even trust the countries to hold them because we don't want them coming back. So we're going to send them out to Guantanamo.
And I think that is an interesting fact, too. So some of these immigrants that they actually are sending back to their country, they simply come right back. So if we're finding out that we're sending them home and then they're doing nothing but just getting back through the border somehow, then of course, what else are you going to do with them? We have too much fentanyl, too much human trafficking going on in this country. A lot of the other issues, I don't really care about a lot of the other issues. I mean, if you come to this country, and whether you got here illegally or not, you know, when they're talking about you taking jobs and all of that kind of stuff, like I'm not going to dig too much into that. But when it comes to the human trafficking and the fentanyl, that's something that I'm really behind when it comes to this immigration policy. Let's hear them out.
This will double our capacity immediately, right? And that's a tough place to get out of. Today's signings bring us one step closer to eradicating the scourge of migrant crime in our communities once and for all. And it was just it's just an unforced error that we even have to be doing this. Now we need Congress to provide full funding for the complete and total restoration of our sovereign borders, as well as financial support to remove record numbers of illegal aliens.
All right, folks, so there you have it. So if you are in this country illegally, you know, I hope you guys are really taking note to what is happening. These ICE raids are serious. They're cracking down on cities all across the country. Donald Trump has actually gave ICE a quota that they have to meet. So certain amount of people has to get taken up out of this country on a daily basis. I know they're hooking up with the ATF, with the FBI, and other law enforcement agencies as well. So if you're in the country illegally, I mean, hopefully you are not one of these criminals that they are talking about. You know, if you're here illegally and you built a family over the years, you know, I totally feel bad for the situation that, you know, a lot of people are being put in, but we have some serious immigration problems in this country. And of course, something has to be done with it. We have to do something about the sex trafficking. We have to do something about the fentanyl, and we have to do something about these gangs that are getting into the country. So I just hope everybody is prepared, because it is going to be a rough 4 years if you are in this country